And preventing fires inside and then tackling them outside. Multiple crews on scene of a grass fire near the Calallen area today.
And the smoke from this one took a bit of an interesting form. Take a look here. Annaville FD crews responded to the scene near FM 624 and County Road 79. Now that's far out Northwest Boulevard, where a grass fire caught some hay bales.
Now, thankfully, no injuries were reported and no damage to nearby structures either. But if you saw this as you were maybe driving by, you may have been thinking, how? It's crazy looking. But just how crazy is it actually?
Well, that sounds like a question for Alan Holt. So, Alan, you see that. What do you make of it?
You know, a lot of times we'll see these happen as dust devils, especially in the southwestern part of the U.S. or even West Texas. That one in particular, I think you could make the case to call it a smoke NATO. Had to do with a very hot ground, obviously firefighters out there, and when we get the hot air near the ground, that has to go up. The sun typically does it, but in that case, I think it was in part because of the fire in the region. And as that air starts to warm up, it starts to rise, low pressure will form, and that's how this process really starts to take shape as the air continues to funnel into that surface low. Sometimes as it starts to rise, that little circulation will get stretched, and when that stretching happens, we talk about this in the form of a figure skater, right? When you're spinning around and then they tighten up, they start to spin faster. That's what's happening as that air continues to move up, stretching that column of rotating air. And you can get a circulation that can produce winds of up to around 60 miles per hour. It can cause damage. It can be destructive. Although that one didn't look to be terribly destructive, you could see some of the debris spinning around what I think is a smoke NATO that we were looking at. And this is pretty interesting. They can extend up in the atmosphere as high as 500 to 1,000 feet up. They're not terribly long-lived. Eventually, they'll start pulling in cooler air, and that shuts down the process. But interesting video nonetheless.